Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining this morning. Srimad Bhagavatam class and attentive japa. We'll make a start right now. And we're talking about Lord Brahma meeting Lord Narayan and about the creation that he's about to do. So, we've seen last week that Lord Brahma glorifies Lord Vishnu with 25 verses of beautiful praise and beseeching the Lord to enable him to execute his service of creation. So he's begging for inspiration and knowledge. He knows he has to create something, but he just can't remember. Every morning he wakes up, he can't remember. Imagine that scenario. You know, we are professional in some duty, and when you wake up in the morning, you just can't remember, you have to start all over again. And this is the dilemma with the Lord Brahma. So then in response, Lord Vishnu describes how he's the very fabric of existence and instructs Lord Brahma to always fully depend on him and thereby be empowered to do his service operation. So this is the essence of what Lord Narayan's response to Lord Brahma. So let's do our prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Namyate Girim Yat Kirpatam Mande Shri Guru Din Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishram Hari Om Tassat Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatojayam Udviriyet Nasta Presha Abadareshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nishtaki. Hare Krishna. So Lord Brahma has done his prayers and he's looking at Lord Narayan for response. But Lord Narayan continued to lie as if asleep. So imagine that. So Lord Brahma becomes tense and he's thinking, what if Lord Narayan hadn't even heard his prayers, because he looks like he's sleeping? What if he haven't even heard my prayers? And without first receiving the Lord's blessings, he can't continue, he can't commence this difficult service. So what he's going to do? So he says, my Lord, you are the supreme and oldest person. You are ever increasingly merciful to fallen souls like me. Kindly open your eyes and benedict me with your loving smile. Without your guidance, I feel incapable of creating this cosmos. And this is the prayer we do every morning, although we're not Brahman, we're not trying to create the cosmos, but this is the prayer we use every morning to wake up our deities in the temple and even at home. If you are asking the deities to sleep end of the day, and then you wake up in the morning, and this is the prayer. And it goes like this: So sab adabran karuna bhagwan vrida prema samitena naramburam vijribam uthaya vishwa vijaya chana vishadam madvya gira panayatat purish purnaha. Translation: the Lord, who is supreme and is oldest of all, is unlimitedly merciful. I wish that he may smilingly bestow his benediction upon me by opening his lotus eyes. He can uplift the entire cosmic creation and remove our dejection by kindly speaking his directions. So this is a prayer we do every morning when we wake up the deities, to wake them up. So the Lord is ever increasingly merciful upon the fallen souls of this material world. The whole cosmic manifestation is a chance for all to improve themselves in devotional service to the Lord, and everyone is meant for that purpose, mentions Srila Prabhupada. So then, once he said that, Lord Narayan slowly opened his lotus petal eyes and looked at his devotee Brahma. Lord Brahma became silent. He looked very tired from his long penance. He was also perturbed about planning and constructing the planetary system where he could accommodate them. This is the living entities, them, so they would not be drowned by the violent waves of Garbhodaka ocean. How too could he create sufficient varieties of bodies to facilitate the living beings' endless material desires? All this was extremely difficult to accomplish. So it seemed like a very, very difficult task. He was so confused. Everything was there, but he just didn't know where to start and what to do. So the Lord saw that Brahma was very anxious about the planning and construction of the different planetary systems and was depressed upon seeing the devastating water. He could understand the intention of Brahma, and thus he spoke in deep, thoughtful words, removing all the illusion that had arisen. So this is now Lord Narayan speaking. Before that, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that devastating water was so fearful that even Brahma was perturbed and at its appearance and became very anxious about how to situate the different planet systems in outer space to accommodate the different kinds of living entities, such as human beings, those lower than human beings, and the superhuman beings. All the planets in the universe are situated according to the different grades of living entities under the influence of the modes of material nature. There are 3 modes of material nature, and when they are mixed with one another, they become 9. And when the 9 are mixed, they become 81. And the 81 also become mixed. And thus we have ultimately don't know how the dissolution increases and decreases. So the 3 modes, they interact with each other, and there's like permutations and combinations going on between the modes. And thus we ultimately don't know how the delusion increases and increases. Lord Brahma had to accommodate different places and situations for the requisite bodies of the conditioned soul. So according to our karma, our desires, Lord Brahma had to situate them so we could fulfill those desires in the particular level or particular planet. The task was meant only for Brahma, and no one in the universe can even understand how difficult it was. But by the grace of the Lord, Brahma was able to execute the tremendous task so perfectly that everyone is amazed to see the workmanship of the Vidata or the regulator. Amazing. Excuse me. So the personality Godhead then said, O Brahma, O depth of Vedic wisdom, be neither depressed nor anxious about the execution of creation. What you are begging from me has already been granted before. So Sri Prabhupada says that any person authorized by either the Lord or by his bona fide representative is already blessed, as is the work entrusted to him, just like Arjun. Of course, the person entrusted with such a responsibility should always be aware of his incapability and must always look for the mercy of the Lord for the successful execution of his duty. So just because we are able to do this task, we shouldn't get puffed up that, oh, look how good I am. Just think that the Lord has given me his mercy to enable me to do this. Fortunate is he who is entrusted. That's the main thing. We should feel that, thank you for making me the instrument of doing this wonderful task. And if he's always fixed in the sense of being subordinate to the will of the Supreme, he's sure to come out successful in the discharge of his work. Arjun was entrusted with the work of fighting on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And before he was so entrusted, the Lord had already arranged for his victory. And even the Lord said that I have already killed all these people. Now I just want you to be the instrument and take the glory. That's what you need to do. But Arjun was always conscious of his position as subordinate to the Lord. And thus he accepted him as the supreme guide and his responsibility. Anyone who takes pride in doing responsible work but does not give credit to the Supreme Lord is certainly falsely proud and cannot execute anything nicely. Brahma and person in the line of his disciplic succession who follow in his footsteps are always successful in the discharge of loving transcendental service to the Lord, Supreme Lord. So as long as you know that everything is done by the Lord and you're the instrument and you thank him for making you the instrument and you always see yourself lower than the Lord, then everything goes okay. Excuse me. O Brahma, situate yourself in penance and meditation and follow the principles of knowledge to see my favor. By these actions, you will be able to understand everything from within your heart. The mercy to the Lord bestows upon a particular person engaged in executing the responsible work entrusted upon him is beyond imagination. But his mercy is received due to our penance and in executing devotional service. Entrusted with the work of creating the planetary systems, the Lord instructed him that when he meditated, he would very easily know where and how the planetary system must be arranged. So he just asked him to fix his attention and everything will become clear to him. The directions were to come from within. So the knowledge already there with Lord Brahma. He just had to concentrate to see what he has to do. So excuse me a minute. So once he focused, then everything will be revealed to him. And there was no necessity for anxiety in that task. Such instructions of Buddhi Yoga are directly imparted by the Lord from within. That's the Dami Bhugi Yogam Tam, as mentioned in Bhagavad-Gita 10.10. O Brahma, when you are absorbed in devotional service in the course of your creative activities, you will see me in you and throughout the universe. And you will see that you yourself, the universe, and the living entities are all in me. It is cited herein by the Lord that during his daytime, Brahma would see him as Lord Krishna. He would appreciate how the Lord expanded himself into all the calves during his childhood at Vrindavan. He would know how Yashodamai saw all the universes and planetary systems within the mouth of Krishna. So everything inside the Lord. Anyway, so he's within us and we are within him. And in the mouth of Krishna during his playful childhood pastimes, he would also see that there are many millions of Brahmas during the appearance of Lord Krishna in Brahma's daytime. But all these manifestations of the Lord appearing everywhere in his eternal transcendental forms cannot be understood by anyone but the pure devotees who are always engaged in devotional service to the Lord and are fully absorbed in the Lord. The high qualifications of Brahma are also indicated that he is able to do that, or at least he will very soon. So the Lord Narayan is building him up and telling him not to get anxious, not to worry. Everything is under control. You will see me in all living entities as well as all over the universe, just as fire is situated in wood. Only in that state of transcendental vision will you be able to be free from all kinds of illusion. So Brahma prayed that he might not forget his eternal relationship with the Lord during the course of his material activities, which is the thing to do. And in answer to that prayer, the Lord said that he should not think of existing without relationship with his omnipotency. The example is given of the fire in wood. The fire kindled in wood is always the same, although the wood may be of different types. Similarly, the bodies within the material creation may be specifically different according to shape and quality, but the spirit souls within them are not different from one another. So, see, why we talk about Samadarshana, everybody has the spirit soul, and the super soul is within them, doesn't matter what shape and size they are. The quality of fire warmth is the same everywhere, and the spiritual spark, or part and parcel of Supreme Spirit, is the same in every living being. Thus, the potency of the Lord is distributed all over his creation. This transcendental knowledge alone can save one from contamination of material illusion. So we must always remember that since the Lord's potency is distributed everywhere, a pure soul or a devotee of the Lord can see everything in relationship with the Lord. And that's the attitude, excuse me. And therefore, he has no affection for the outer coverings. That pure spiritual conception makes him immune to all contamination of material association. The pure devotee now forgets the touch of the Lord in all circumstances. So this is Srila Prabhupada's purport. And then Lord Vishnu continued, with such a vision, your only desire will be to serve in all circumstances. Thus, you will not be contaminated by the modes of nature. And you will, because he was saying last time when we was praying that are we interacting with so many living entities with all sorts of desires, and with the material energy are we using to build all this? I don't want to be contaminated. So the Lord said, you won't get contaminated, and you will realize your eternal spiritual relationship with me. No matter what you need to create, I will give you what you need to create. I will give you the required intelligence. Be assured My causeless mercy on you will enhance your ability. O original sage among sages, by fixing your mind on me, the malevolent mode of passion will never contaminate you. So the mode of passion is used to create. If the mode of passion is used in the right way, it does not contaminate you. And this is what we were discussing last week. So, these are all the Lord's energies. They just have to be used appropriately, even though you are engaged in generating progeny. Today, you have seen me, although it is very difficult for embodied living beings to attain such a vision. This is because you never considered my body to be made of the 5 gross or 3 subtle elements like that of a conditioned soul. So we think that Krishna is material, and then he becomes material. If he thinks he's invisible, then he becomes invisible. You have to think of him as transcendental, and like we talking about the cowherd boy. However you picture Krishna, that's what he becomes for you. Because he fulfills all desires at the end of the day. Lord Vishnu reminds Lord Brahma, do you remember your perplexity as to the source of the lotus from which you took your birth? And at that time you entered its stem, but despite searching extensively, you could not find anything. Then by my grace, I manifested my form to you, both within your heart and even externally. So we can try for yugas, but we cannot see the Lord. It's only when he decides that he wants to be seen, we can see him. Brahma, it was I who made your faith strong and gave you the ability to perform penances and offer me prayers of glorification. I bestowed these abilities on you out of my causeless mercy because you desire to serve me with love. This way, Lord Vishnu reminded Lord Brahma of his complete dependence on him. Materialistic people think of my form as mundane. I am pleased with your descriptions of me as possessing spiritual qualities, devoid of material attributes. And now you desire that all living entities know my glories. Therefore, I bless you that your wish be fulfilled. O Brahma, I am quickly pleased with anyone who, desiring to serve me, petitions me with the prayers you have composed. As the giver of all boons, I satisfy their desire to serve me as they please. So this is a good example for us that we can follow in the footsteps of Lord Brahma from what we want to achieve. What we want to achieve to please the Lord, not what we want to achieve for ourselves or our families. The center should be the Lord, how we can please him, and then he guides you. So Lord Brahma understood that Lord Vishnu would not answer the prayers of a person desiring sense gratification. So there are pious activities such as altruism, penance, sacrifice, charity, mystic yoga, and meditation. However, in the opinion of expert transcendentalists, these are only beneficial when done with the intention of pleasing me. So that's the principle, to please Krishna. You see, Brahma, I am the super soul in the heart of all living beings. The individual souls are my parts and parcels. I am in truth the dearest person to all. A living being has affection for his body because the soul resides in there. But we love ourselves because the soul is in there. The reason he has affection for himself is that he is part of me. Forgetting me, embodied souls wrongly feel affection for the gross and subtle body. But all living beings should show affection to me, because that is the ultimate affection. Always follow my direction, thus you will never forget the Vedic knowledge, as you have done on previous days. So he reminds him that you have done this before. Generate progeny who are obedient and devoted to me. You can create them from your own body and mind. And after instructing Brahma to expand the creation, the primal Lord Narayan disappeared. Hare Krishna. Sorry, my throat is a bit weak today and very ticklish, but I didn't think it's going to be this bad. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Harini Mataji, Rukuni Mataji, Shamsundar Prabhu, Partha Prabhu, Parveen Mataji, Prem Prakash Prabhu, and Venkat Prabhu, and my father-in-law. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, we know Jai Prabhu today. Oh, Sarvashri Mataji is not here today, I think, either. Not to worry. And okay, Hanini Mataji, actually, I think you said that you weren't able to talk. Are you able to talk today?
Not much, Prabhuji. I think you beautifully explained it. Just leave everything to Krishna. I think many a times we get covered up in anxieties and worries of what's going to happen, or this COVID or job or any situation or the kids' future. You're always worried. But I think as you beautifully explained it, just bring your attention to Krishna, and he is the ultimate controller, and he knows what's good for you. So there's no need to worry or have that anxiety or depression or anything, because it's him who's controlling the external energy. All you need to do is just chant and try to remain in this internal energy and not go into this external energy. So that's what I realized from what you read today. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this morning.
Thank you, Mary. Yeah, absolutely. We should think that he's the controller. He's the proprietor. Well, we tend to forget. When we panic, we think everything depends on us. We should try and do our best, but we know that ultimately Krishna, he's in control. He's controlling everything. We don't need to panic. Whatever is happening for our benefit, ultimately. So no need to panic. Excuse me. Rukmini Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just want to tell you that are you drinking hot water in the morning every day?
I am, Mataji, I am.
Because it helps. This throat is disturbing you.
Yeah, since I came back from India, I haven't been 100%. This is what happens going to India. I always get something, and it's getting better. Just be ticklish.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. Very nice class, and this is I always say this is all our beyond our imagination, and we are. You said we are always puffed up in our nature. That is true. We are only learn little bit, and we just become we become very proud, and we feel very proud that I am very knowledgeable. But it is in human nature.
Sure.
This thing we are within, and he is within us. But still we are contaminated by modes of nature. That is, I'm always surprised. I mean, that when he is in us, and we are in him, still we get the effect of the modes of the nature. Why is that?
This is because we are put under illusion deliberately. We are put under illusion because if we are going to fulfill our desires, this is why we're here. Otherwise, we would be in Krishna Lok, serving Lord Krishna. We are here because we want to fulfill. We have desires to fulfill, and Krishna is happy for us to fulfill our desires, like the children. He wants us to play, and then we've had enough. He wants us to come back home. So we want to fulfill our desires, and the only way we can fulfill our desires is if he puts us into illusion that we are the controllers, we're the proprietors. Then we can play that little game within our little. We have our little own universe going on, own little world going on. We have our families, friends, our work, our assets, everything. Everyone has a little bubble. We have a little business, a little world going on, and we're under illusion that we are doing all this. We are controlling all this. This is mine. This is mine, and I love them. They love me. We have a little thing going on, and we are put into illusion so we can fulfill our so we get satisfaction. If we weren't in the illusion, then we wouldn't be. We'd be like standing on the margin. What do we do? This and that. We won't be able to fulfill our desires properly because we'll have too much knowledge. But the idea is to get out of the illusion. We can get out of the illusion. This is why Krishna also gives scriptures. He's the map back home. Is the map. So okay, you're here, you're illusioned, you're enjoying material energy. As soon as we take birth, we are under illusion. So can fulfill our desires, have fun, freely. Don't have to think about the Lord. But he also given it a map that listen, there is more to this. And this is what we realize after years and years of chewing the chewed, as Prabhupada mentioned, having, enjoying ourselves, sense gratification, being attached to this material energy, then we can certainly wake up from that and realize that this is not the ultimate thing. Because we keep doing this, we're going to be stuck here forever, which we are. We had millions and millions of births, right? It's because we are under illusion. It's only when we wake up, and the best way to wake up is when Krishna sends you a spiritual master. He arranges spiritual master for you. And that usually happens when you sort of thinking inside that, is this what I'm doing? Is this the right thing? Because I'm just going around in circles here. Just, the life, I'm just doing the same thing every time, just enjoying the senses for temporarily, then I suffer, enjoy, suffer. If I enjoy too much, then I suffer too much, whether it's eating or drinking or, tiring yourself out somewhere. So you suddenly start realizing that there has to be more to life than this sense gratification. And then Krishna arranges a spiritual master to come to you. And it could be just a devotee who you're exposed to. And suddenly you start getting faith. He explains to you about the Lord, that there is more to life than sense gratification. You need to go back home, like we got this opportunity, and then your illusion starts lifting. Does that make sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Because in the scriptures, we can't understand them ourselves. Somebody has to explain to us. And this is why you have the Vaishnavas, the devotees. We have to thank them for coming into our lives. Now we have to do the same thing for others as well. This is how it's a network. It's a tree. So somebody has helped us. We help 10 people, and then there's those 10 people help another 10 people, and then it goes on and on. This is what Krishna wants. This is why we're the preaching movement, because whatever we have learned, we need to pass it on to other people. And that is the way.
Actually, we are all the part and particles of the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. So actually, we shouldn't be like that in a mode of material natures. We shouldn't be affected by all this nature, because we are the parts and particles of the Lord Vishnu. Then why it happens like that? He make us to do all the karmas. Everything is in his hand. But then why does he make like this? We are lost in a karma, these three modes of nature.
Yeah, because we want to enjoy it. That's our propensity. We like to enjoy it. So it puts into illusion, so we can enjoy to our heart's content. That's the only way we'll do it. If he puts into illusion, that we think this is reality. This is only temporary thing, but we don't see it as temporary. We see this as reality, and we want to enjoy it. The only way Srila Prabhupada mentions that is that if he puts into illusion. Krishna knows best. Puts into illusion, so we can enjoy. And what do you say about that? Although we are his part and parcel, we are spiritual. How come he doesn't get affected by three modes of nature? So how come we get affected by three modes of nature, even though we are spiritual? But just we're not strong as him. Krishna is unlimited. We are very limited in everything. Although we are his parts and parcel, we are the marginal energy. Marginal energy means that we can either be spiritual or material. Okay, we can enjoy material or we can enjoy spiritual. We are in the middle. We have a free will. We are able to get contaminated by material energy, or we can go on the side of spiritual energy. This is why we call the marginal energy. We're not, although we are specks of Krishna, we're not strong as him. We will only have these qualities in a very, very limited form. It's these 6 opulences. We have them in a very, very limited form. Krishna is unlimited. We are limited. And this is why we get affected by the material energy. And Krishna doesn't, because he's unlimited in strength and knowledge and everything. And plus, those energy are given, that they are his energies, right? He's the proprietor of those energies. So how can he get affected by them? This is sometimes the Mayavadis think that when Lord Krishna comes to the material world, he becomes contaminated. He's just like any other human being. But Prabhupada mentioned that that is not the case. Krishna does not get contaminated because he's unlimited and he's the source of all those energies. So how can they affect him? I just hope that I'm able to explain that, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much.
I mean, in the Bhagavad-Gita, I don't know if I can just quickly find it. Where was it? Was it chapter 1? Okay, I think it's chapter 3. So let me have a look. Okay, I cannot see it at the moment. But I mean, it's mentioned that we're not strong as Krishna. We're not strong as him. We can get illusion. That's just the way it is. That although we are a spiritual soul, ultimately, but we can't compare ourselves to Krishna. He doesn't get contaminated. We do, because we are the marginal energy. And I'm sure, I think if we had a class on this matter, to explain a bit more elaborately, but that's all I can tell you at the moment, Madhuri, that we do get contaminated. Krishna doesn't, even though we are spiritual, but we're not strong as him. We are very weak. This is why we rely on him. We are parts. He's the whole. We're just parts of him. We are nothing without him. Even though we're without him, we are nothing. This is why we need to get connected to the source. Without the source, we don't have any power.
Yes, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Sorry, it might sound like I'm going around in circles, but that's all I can tell you from my side. Pastor Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. I mean, you have explained very in a detailed way. It's very nice, Prabhuji. I was just neglecting on one point, which is knowledge is already there within, and it's only in a deactive state. So once we have this, like ABCD, like association, books, deity worship, and chanting, when these processes are in place, the deactive thing will come into activeness. And then once you are connected to the Lord, that's it. Then nothing else. No need to worry after that. That's all, Prabhuji. Thank you. That's all, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. I mean, look, I mean, we are just very, very minute human beings, right? Look at Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, he's the original creator of everything. After obviously Lord Narayan, he was so weak, he wasn't able to do anything. He felt illusioned, right? So if he can get illusioned, who are we compared to Lord Brahma? So this is the whole reason for doing all these classes and for the Srimad Bhagavatam. It shows you how minute we are compared to the Lord, that even the biggest personalities, they get anxious, they get bewildered, they get illusioned, they get confused. So who are we? Is to bring us to our real platform instead of getting puffed up, thinking we can run the world single-handedly. These examples are given to show us that we should be more humble and we should have humility, because in the bigger picture we are very, very small and very, very weak, and we really need to rely totally on the Lord. for guidance and help from within. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Right. Who else would like to speak? Prem Prakash Prabhu, I think, is listening only today. Prem Mataji, are you able to speak right now? I think, yes. I think Mataji was going somewhere. So she's just listening in. Okay. Then maybe, unless somebody else wants to make any comments or has any questions, we can maybe start chanting. It's at 8:38 anyway. Any other questions or anything like to add? Anyone? Okay. Then, Bipin Mother, you would like to start the round?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mother.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram